Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. If he ain't calling, if he ain't texting, if he's ghosting, you stop making excuses for him. He ain't in a coma. His fingers ain't broke. His phone ain't dead. He just ain't thinking about you the way you're thinking about him. And that right there, that's sting. But sometimes the truth gotta hurt before it heals. People always say, he's just busy. That's the number one excuse I hear when a man disappears like Houdini. Look, I'm gonna keep it real with you. If a man ain't calling you, if he's not texting you back, it's not because he's so swamped with work that he just forgot you exist. No, it's because he's making a choice. It's because he's not choosing you. And when a man don't choose you, baby, that don't make you less. It just means he don't see what's in front of him. Let me help you see the game. See, men, we know how to chase when we want something. We can be dead tired, working 12-hour shifts, got kids, dog need a bath, car broke down. We still gonna find a way to call the woman we truly care about. That's facts. Don't let nobody sell you that I've just been real busy lately. Nonsense. Because we always make time for what we prioritize. Always. I don't care if we're in the middle of a hurricane. If we want to talk to you, we're going to text through the storm. You know how I know? Because we do it all the time. A man will spend 3 hours watching his favorite team play. He'll wait in line for 2 hours just to get some new sneakers. He'll scroll Instagram all day long, but he can't find 30 seconds to send you a good morning. Come on now. That ain't a schedule issue. That's a priority issue. And the worst part, we see y'all trying. You calling, you double texting, you checking to see if your message went through. You wondering if his phone broke, if maybe he lost your number, if maybe he's just going through something. Baby, no. What he's going through is the freedom of not having to commit. Because you keep reaching out while he keeps pulling back. And that imbalance, it's a red flag waving right in front of your face. You can't chase a man into loving you. You can't beg your way into somebody's priority list. When a man is really into you, you ain't got to wonder, he's going to show up. And if he ain't showing up, stop showing up for him. You better hear me today. Don't lose your self-respect trying to earn someone else's attention. That's not love, that's struggle. And you weren't born for struggle love. And I know what you're thinking, but he was so into me at first. Yeah, he probably was. And that's the thing about men. We good in the beginning. We show you that good representative. We say all the right things, make you feel special, maybe even plan some nice dates. But when it's time for consistency, for showing up day in and day out, that's when the truth shows up. And if he ain't calling you now when he should be, trying to win you over, what do you think will happen down the road? That's not a man you can build with. That's a man who builds exits while you're building dreams. Some of y'all waiting on a text that's never coming, sitting by the phone like it's 1992. You checking his story, hoping he's thinking about you. But let me tell you something. If a man wants to talk to you, he will. If he don't, you won't have to guess. His silence speaks loud. You just got to be willing to listen. And the worst part, you've started questioning yourself. You asking, was it something I said? Did I come off too strong? Maybe I should have waited longer to reply. Stop that. Don't internalize someone else's lack of effort as your flaw. His inconsistency is not a mirror of your worth. That's just who he is. And now, thankfully, you know, at the end of the day, when a man chooses you, it's clear. When he doesn't, it's even clearer. Don't sit in the gray waiting for someone to act right. Stop chasing silence. Let that man miss you, because the moment you stop reaching, the right one will start. Let me clear something up real quick. Your standards are not the problem. You having values, expectations, and a vision for your life, that ain't the issue. The issue is your patience. The issue is how long you're willing to sit in a situation that ain't serving you, hoping it magically turns into something that respects your standards. That's where it starts falling apart. See, a lot of women today are scared to stick to their standards because they've been told they're too picky. Baby, having boundaries ain't picky. It's smart. It's knowing what you bring to the table and refusing to let anybody come eat off your plate without bringing something of their own. The problem is you set the bar, but then you keep letting folks walk under it just so you don't have to walk alone. And that's not standards, that's settling. That's patience working against you. Now, don't get me wrong, patience is a good thing when it's pointed in the right direction. You got to have patience with growth, patience with building something meaningful. But some of y'all are being patient with potential, and potential ain't ever paid a bill. Potential ain't ever wiped a tear. Potential can't love you at night. That man might have all the potential in the world, but if he ain't putting in the work today, what are you really being patient for? A hope? A maybe? A version of him that only lives in your imagination? I'm telling you right now, stop being patient with red flags. Stop being patient with broken promises. Stop being patient with, I'm almost ready and I just need time. If a man can see who you are and he's still not stepping up, then he's not confused, he's comfortable. And why wouldn't he be? You still answering, you still showing up, you still cooking, loving, and forgiving while he's out here doing the bare minimum, knowing you ain't going nowhere. That ain't patience. That's self-betrayal. You keep waiting on him to change, but let me ask you something. How long you gonna wait? How many birthdays gotta go by before you realize this ain't it? How many nights you gonna cry over someone who don't even feel guilty about the way he got you feeling? That's not patience. That's fear. Fear of starting over, fear of being alone, fear of nobody better showing up. But listen to me. Your standards were given to you for a reason. God don't give you discernment for you to ignore it. He gives it to you so you don't waste your life in the wrong hands. You weren't made to beg for basic respect. You weren't made to compete with other women just to hold on to a man who don't even know your worth. And yet you keep sitting in it, being patient, calling it working things out, when really you just avoiding the truth you already know. You are not asking for too much. You're asking the wrong person. And that's why patience becomes dangerous, because you convince yourself that loyalty means staying where you're being emotionally starved. That's not noble, that's painful, and you deserve more. Let that man go. Let him figure it out on his own time. Your job is not to fix, wait, or mold a man into being ready. Your job is to stand firm in who you are and what you need. The right one won't need years of patience to give you consistency. He won't need reminders to call. He won't need threats to commit. He'll see the value in front of him and rise to meet it. So hear me when I say this. Your standards are beautiful. They're godly. They're right. It's your patience with the wrong people that's causing the pain. Don't lower the bar. Lift your life. When you stop waiting on the wrong man, you make room for the right one to find you, already walking in your worth. Let me tell you something. There ain't nothing in this world more attractive than confidence. Not a dress, not a hairstyle, not the heels, not the lashes, not even the red lipstick. Now, don't get me wrong, all that is nice, but none of that matters if you walk into a room not knowing who you are. Because confidence is what really turns heads. Confidence is what makes a man stop mid-sentence and say, who is that? See, some of y'all keep changing your wardrobe, your weight, your wig, thinking that's what's going to finally make him stay. You think if you get the right look, he's going to see you differently. But let me ask you this, has it worked yet? Because if the outside is dressed up, but the inside still full of doubt and insecurity, he can feel that. A man can feel when you don't see your own value. You might be fine on the surface, but if you walk like you need permission to be loved, he gonna treat you like an option. Confidence tells a man how to treat you before you even open your mouth. Confidence don't come from attention. It comes from assurance. From knowing who you are, what you bring, and what you ain't tolerating no more. It comes from having your own back, whether he calls or not. Whether you're in a relationship or single, whether somebody compliments you today or not at all. That's real power. And when you got it, baby, you become unforgettable. Let me break it down. You ever seen a woman walk into a room and she ain't even dressed to the nines? Maybe she's in something simple. Ain't nothing flashy about it, but she walks like she owns every step. She smiles like life is hers to enjoy. She looks people in the eye like she ain't afraid of being seen. And guess what happens? People pay attention, not because of what she's wearing, but because of the energy she's carrying. Confidence changes your presence. It speaks before you say a word. And for the record, I'm not talking about arrogance. I ain't talking about that fake, loud, look at me energy. I'm talking about that quiet, steady, unshakable self-worth. The kind where you could sit alone in a room full of couples and still feel complete. The kind where you don't need a man to validate what God already confirmed. You want him to respect you, walk like you respect yourself. You want him to value your time, stop making it so easy to get. You want to be the woman who lingers in his mind? Be the woman who don't chase, don't beg, and don't dim her light for nobody. Be the woman who shows up whole, not hoping somebody will complete her. Let me tell you something else. Confidence also protects you. When you got it, you don't fall for every smooth talker that comes your way. You don't accept inconsistency and call it love. You don't shrink just to make a man feel big. You know what you need, and you're not afraid to wait for it. You don't go on 3 dates and start compromising your whole future just to keep somebody who ain't even sure about you. Confidence says, if you don't know what you want, that's fine, but I do, and I'm not about to waste my time. Men can't play with a confident woman the same way they can with someone who's unsure of herself. They either rise to meet her level or they move along. But the one thing they won't do is forget her. Because when a woman walks with confidence, she becomes a lesson, a standard, a reminder that not all women can be had with empty words and broken promises. So go ahead and wear the outfit, do your hair, take the picture, but understand this. Without confidence, it's just decoration. The real glow up is how you carry yourself when nobody's watching, when you stop performing and start believing, when you stop asking, am I enough, and start saying, I am enough, with or without you. That's when the game changes. That's when the phone starts ringing. That's when the man who couldn't see you before suddenly can't take his eyes off you. Confidence, it ain't extra, it's essential. Let me tell you something right now. When a woman starts walking in her purpose, the whole atmosphere around her changes. Her energy shifts, her standards rise, her spirit settles. And most importantly, her time gets protected. She ain't chasing no man, she ain't entertaining maybes, and she sure ain't wasting her God-given gifts waiting on somebody to pick her. When a woman walks in purpose, she stops asking for attention and starts commanding respect. See, purpose gives you direction. Purpose tells you what you're here for. And once you get clear on that, you stop getting distracted by people who don't align with where you're headed. You stop letting random men into your life just because they cute, or because you lonely, or because they said the right thing at the right time. You start asking deeper questions. Does he support where I'm going? Does he build peace in my life or confusion? Is he a partner in the plan or just a pit stop in the pain? Now, here's the part people don't talk about. When you get serious about your calling, the wrong men fall off. Oh yeah, they start disappearing. Why? Because they were never meant to walk with you in purpose. They were only there for the distraction phase. for the unhealed you, for the version of you that didn't know her worth yet. And once that changes, they don't know what to do with you anymore. You're too focused, you're too full, you're too expensive for discount treatment. And just when you stop looking, when you stop worrying, when you stop checking your phone 100 times a day hoping he texts, that's when the right one shows up. That's when the call comes, the real call, from a man who ain't confused, ain't lazy, ain't playing games. He shows up because now he can see you. You're walking in the light of your purpose. And baby, that's attractive on a level no makeup, no dress, no filter can match. Men who are ready, real men, are drawn to women who are grounded in who they are. They don't want chaos. They want clarity. They don't want to lead somebody who don't know where she's going. They want to partner with someone who already has a destination in mind. When a woman knows where she's going, she becomes magnetic. The right man don't try to distract her. He aligns with her. He doesn't compete with her shine. He protects it. And when that kind of man calls, you ain't got to wonder if it's real. You ain't got to chase clarity. You ain't stuck trying to decode text or figure out if he's serious. A man in position don't make you guess. He lets you rest. He lets you feel safe. But you only meet that man after you meet yourself. After you stop breaking your back trying to be enough for people who were never qualified to receive you. After you stop delaying your dreams, waiting on a maybe. After you stop hiding your light just to make somebody else feel comfortable. That's when things shift. That's when the call comes in, not just from a man, but from God, from the universe, from life itself. Everything starts clicking into place because you finally got an alignment with who you were created to be. Walking in purpose don't just change your love life, it changes your life. You start choosing peace over pressure. You start choosing standards over stories. You stop tolerating confusion and start making room for connection. The right man can only recognize you when you first recognize yourself. And when he calls, he doesn't come to interrupt the mission, he comes to enhance it. So stop worrying about when he's going to call, if he's going to text, or if he's thinking about you. Start thinking about your purpose. Start investing in your healing. Start showing up for yourself the way you wish somebody else would. Because when you walk like you know who you are, you attract a man who knows exactly where you belong, in peace, in partnership, and in power. And that right there, that's the call worth answering. Listen, let's stop acting like men don't know better. We know. We know what we're doing. And the truth is, we learn real quick what we can and can't get away with. You might not say it out loud, but we're watching how you react. We're paying attention to how much you let slide. And that right there, that's how you teach us. Not with your words, not with the tears, not with the late night arguments, with your tolerance. So you might think you're just being patient, being understanding, trying to see the good in a man. But to him, you're showing him the limits of your self-respect. If he cancels plans last minute and you still pick up the phone the next day like nothing happened, guess what you just taught him? That your time ain't valuable. If he disappears for 3 days, comes back with a weak excuse, and you let him back in like it's all good, guess what you just taught him? That your presence don't require consistency. That's the class you're teaching, whether you realize it or not. Men adjust to the standard you set, or they leave. It's that simple. We are either going to step up or step off. But we will not change for a woman who allows the same old behavior again and again and again. If there's no consequence, there's no correction. He keeps doing what's working for him. And if what's working for him is working against you, but you keep allowing it, then baby, he's not the problem. Your boundaries are, I know it's hard. I know you love him. I know you've built up this version of who he could be if he just tried harder. But let me ask you this. How many versions of him you going to go through before you finally choose you? How many times do you have to be let down before you realize you've been giving too much of yourself to someone who's only giving you pieces of him? Let me break it all the way down. A man is not going to give you more than what he has to if you're already accepting the bare minimum. Why would he stretch? Why would he evolve? He already got you. You cooking for him, loving on him, being loyal to him, and he ain't even consistent. You doing all the things a wife would do for a man who ain't even acting like a boyfriend. And he knows it. He knows. So why should he change? You keep saying he'll grow up. He just needs time. He's been through a lot. Okay, sure. But while he's healing, who's holding you while you're hurting? While he's trying to figure it out, what are you giving up? That ain't love. That's sacrifice with no reward. That's effort with no return. That's you teaching him that you'll stay even if it's slowly breaking you. You got to show a man how to treat you by having the strength to walk away from what doesn't serve you. Not scream about it, not threaten it, do it. Set the tone early. If he sees you respect yourself, he has two options. Respect you too, or step aside for someone who will. You can't build a healthy relationship on low standards. And you can't raise a man who ain't willing to grow. The truth is, a man steps up when a woman requires it. And the woman who walks in grace, strength, and boundaries, she's unforgettable. Because she don't just demand love, she demands alignment. She don't entertain confusion. She don't beg for clarity. She walks and the right one follows with intention. So if you keep asking why he treats you the way he does, look at what you've been tolerating. That's your answer. And when you finally stop allowing less, that's when you make space for more. Let me tell you something that's real and raw. The moment you stop chasing him is the moment he starts noticing you. That's just how it works. It's like magic, but it ain't magic. It's psychology. It's spiritual. It's human nature. A man is wired to pursue. That's what we do. That's in our DNA. But when the roles get reversed, when you start doing all the chasing, the calling, the texting, the double texting, the wondering where he at, what he doing, why he ain't answering, he stops seeing your value. Not because you ain't valuable, not because you ain't enough, but because we don't chase what's already sitting in our lap, waiting on us to notice. See, here's what y'all got to understand. When a woman leans too far in, it makes a man lean out. It shifts the balance. When you make him the center of your universe, before he's even earned that position, you put yourself in a position where he don't got to do nothing. You text him first, you checking in, you forgiving fast, you adjusting everything in your life to make him comfortable. And guess what he's doing? Watching you work while he chills. Now, I'm not saying don't show interest. I'm not saying play games, but I am saying this. Stop doing so much for a man who's doing the bare minimum for you. Because if he don't have to pursue you, he won't value you the same. Men value what they earn, what they invest in, what they work for. That's why when you finally stop chasing, when you finally put that phone down, when you finally say, you know what, if he want me, he'll come find me, that's when he feels the shift. That's when his mind kicks in. That's when the silence starts to speak. See, silence is powerful. Silence tells a man, I'm not waiting. It says, I'm not pressed. It screams, I'm whole either way. And a confident woman who ain't chasing no man, that's attractive. That's rare. That's what makes him pause, because now he got to ask himself, did I just lose a good woman? But he don't ask that while you still calling. He don't ask that while you still showing up like his actions don't hurt you. He only starts questioning things when you stop explaining and start exiting. Let me tell you something else. When you stop chasing, you get your mind back. You get your mind back. You start sleeping better. You stop checking your phone every 5 minutes, hoping his name pops up. You start investing that energy into you, your purpose, your peace, your healing, your glow. And guess what happens next? Now you're not just more attractive to him, you're more attractive to everybody because your vibe changes. You move different. You ain't desperate, you're desirable because you stop chasing what wasn't choosing you. Now, don't get it twisted. If a man really wants you, he will find you. He will call, he will text, he will show up, and not just with words, but with consistency, with clarity, and with effort. But that only happens when you step back. Let him feel your absence. Let him notice the gap where your energy used to be, because that's when he sees what he's missing. That's when he realizes, dang, she was really down for me. She really cared, and I played with it. But let me warn you, when you stop chasing, you got to be ready for two outcomes. Either he steps up or he steps out, and both are a win. If he steps up, then he's serious. If he steps out, then he was never for you. Either way, you get peace. Either way, you stop begging for something